This video will walk you through the installation process for the Buckley steel board fence system. Buckley steel board fence rails and posts come in custom steel-ended crates for ease of handling, excellent product protection, and least field waste. If you see any damage of the product due to shipping and handling, please note this on the trucker's bill of lading before signing for the load. Simply cut the bands and work directly out of the crates. Each post comes in its own polyethylene sleeve, and its rail lock spacer is packaged within the post. Remove the sleeve and the lock, bend the tab found near the post bottom for locking into the concrete, and place the post within the augured hole. Note that the rail grommets are pre-installed within the rail slots. To bend out the tab in the post, you can use standard channel lock pliers or a flat end screwdriver. Bend the tab to 90 degrees before setting the post in the ground. Stake down a string line that will define one side of the post line, measure out the hole centers, and mark the ground for auger digging. Post center dimensions can be found on our installation page of the website. Move the string line out for digging. Auger out the post holes with a 12-inch auger for ease of post hole digging. This can eliminate the need for any hand shaving of the holes. We recommend a standard 3-foot auger with a 1-foot extension. Our post depth is 43 inches. You can use as narrow as a 9-inch auger, but with any rocks to push you offline, you will be required to use much more labor to hand shave holes to assure proper post positioning. Note the manual post hole digging to clear out the loose dirt at the bottom of the hole. Reset the string line to define the side of all posts in the line. When setting the posts, use a 110 5/8 inch cut 2x4 bump bar at the base of the post or hooked over the top of the post as shown to get the post distance correct. It is critical to be touching the bump bar set at the 110 5/8 inch. Get the first post in line, plumb, and at the prescribed height. The second post must be at the distance of the bump bar away and must be plumbed up in both directions before adding the concrete to the hole. Ideally, once the post is square and before putting in the concrete, you would tap it down slightly to bite into the ground, thus preventing any concrete to get into the post end. It is ideal to have the post drain to earth. Shovel or pour in the wet mixed concrete while assuring the post remains plumb, in line, and at approximately the correct final height. Move down the line, setting all the posts. Once the line is in, you have about 20 minutes to tweak in the height, spacing, and squareness of the full line. Initially, it's best to use a string line at the top of the two end posts that are set to the desired fence line height and to adjust the line posts to the string line. You may find in order to properly follow the ground's contour, you may want to adjust from there by eye, looking down the line. Ideally, the distance from the ground to the bottom rail would be within the range of 12 to 14 inches. If the line needs more ground clearance than that, due to contour, either regrade the pasture or make the posts flow with the ground line to gently maintain that bottom gap. Here we clip the top line to the post to define a new starting point along the slope to follow the ground line better. You can eyeball across the top of the post and down the side of the post to finalize your beautiful fence line. Small adjustments can be made while the concrete is still not fully set. Check the line at intervals after setting until the concrete is fully set.
Much. All right, next step on it. That's it. Push it a little bit more. A little more.
Clean the concrete splash off the posts while it is still wet. On occasion, you will encounter a large rock that cannot be removed from the ground. If it is at least 3 feet down, that's okay, and you can cut the post to sit on the rock and allow the concrete to surround the post and the rock for a good foundation. If the rock is shallower than that, it is best to either jackhammer the rock out of the way, dig out the rock, or drive a couple of anchor bolts into the rock to anchor it to the concrete when poured, and cut the post short enough to make this work. Dig around the rock so concrete will fill below the frost line. After the post concrete is cured, insert the rails as shown and insert the rail lock spacers as shown. The top tab of the lock spacer will sit on the top rails. Pull the rails snug to the lock. When done, tap on the post caps as shown. We recommend using a clean rag and a rubber mallet to tap the cap down flat and square. When the job is done, only the steel crate ends need to be returned. Please see our return instructions on the website under Installation. All installation instructions and videos are on that page. In the end, your fence line has the appearance of sturdiness and strength, proportional to the squareness it is set at. A well-set fence line looks solid and beautiful, and setting below the frost line assures it will stay that way for decades to follow.